Live. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? Always gotta do a quick sound check. I want to see if I can hear myself on here. Everything looks okay. Everything seems okay. Let me give it a couple more seconds to kick in. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if you guys can see me. I don't want to just be going in without knowing that I sound okay. I think I'm okay. I'm going to trust that you guys can hear me and see me. Well, y'all let me know eventually. There we go. People are here. People see me. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get things started. Hello all, and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm your host, Alyx, just Alyx. Apparently, they did not get a notification. That's interesting. So they don't send out notifications for vertical lives. That one's new. I was hoping that it would. Maybe it will send it out later. Was it something I didn't do? Maybe there was a setting I didn't necessarily put on. Again, we're still experimenting, but I do appreciate you guys for joining me. So, yes, you see the green screen behind me. Originally, this was going to be a regular live stream. I had the setup, the microphone, camera ready to go. So I guess you guys are wondering, what happened? Why are you doing a vertical live? I'm currently editing a video that is going to go up, I believe. Well, how are we doing? It's rendering right now. Okay. 2 hours. So not tonight. I won't be posting it tonight. I could post it tonight. You guys want to watch it tonight? That means as soon as it's done, I upload it, which means you won't be getting it until like 11 p.m. I mean, if you guys want it that late, we'll do that. Okay, people are saying they just got notified because that was weird. I was like, so are people just not getting the notifications? What happened here? So you just got notified. So it says right here the notifications are on. That's weird. Well, yes, I am doing a vertical live because I was working on my top 10 greatest, well, not even greatest, but just top 10 wrestling matches of 2024. But we here. Ain't no biggie. Ain't no thing like a chicken wing. And immediately, I see that I got a super chat. Welcome, sir. Thank you for the super chats, by the way. Always want to catch those. This one's from Ray, the awesome dude, who says Woods and Kofi did the heel turn better than DIY. I gotta agree with you, but it was still a good heel turn. I mean, getting right into it, that's what people want me to talk about. The heel turn tonight from Gargano and Ciampa. So when I saw that the Street Profits got attacked backstage, my initial reaction was, okay, well, Ciampa did it. You know, I just wrote it off as, well, predictability says Ciampa did it. And it's going to come back to bite them in the tag match. They're going to come out and attack them. And then that will set up some three-way tag match at maybe Saturday night's main event, maybe going into Royal Rumble. But that seems to be what we're building towards. We're building towards some type of a three-way feud for those tag team titles. Hell, do a ladder match. Screw it. But of course, this is Triple H, who loves to swerve you. And that's why a lot of times he purposely sends us down predictable routes we've seen 10,000 times on purpose to make us think he's going to do something a certain way. And then at the last second, boop, hits you with that swerve like he did on Monday. We were thinking Xavier Woods was going to turn heel. What ended up happening was both Xavier and Kofi turned heel. Yeah. Hell of a swerve, and easily one of the best segments. One of the best Raws all year, but one of the best segments on Raw in a long ass time. So the same thing happened here where we thought it was going to be a Tommaso Ciampa, attack, but it ended up being a heel turn for Gargano, and Gargano apparently was the one who attacked the Street Profits. Huh. Or was it Gargano and Ciampa and it was a ruse? Damn. Regardless, DIY are heels now. And I love it. And here's why I love it. We haven't seen them do a heel version of DIY. We've seen them do heel and face before. We've seen them do face DIY, but we've never seen heel DIY. So this is new. This is a fresh new coat of paint. They've never really went down this direction before. And so I like it. And I'm curious to see where they're going to go with it. And do I think it was necessary? Do I think it was needed? Honestly, DIY was cold. Cold as ice. And they've been cold for a while. I remember when, and I was thinking about this today, I remember when Johnny Gargano returned to WWE in 2022, right? And it felt like this is when Gargano begins his journey to the top of the bracket in WWE, right? And I was thinking that myself. I'm thinking, man, under Triple H, Gargano is going to shine. And then we know what happens. Vince McMahon forced himself back in, and then Gargano goes away for literally a year. We don't see him for a year until he finds a way back into a tag team with Ciampa, but that's like, what, late 2023, if that? And so they get back into a tag team, they reunite, and now we're waiting for them to get things going. And it's a little slow. Not much is happening on Raw. They're a team, but nothing is going on with them. And so they get traded to SmackDown, and you're thinking, okay, we're going to get somewhere. And we do. They win the tag team titles. They beat Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. And you're thinking, all right, here we go. This is going to be dope. Doesn't really go anywhere because immediately they lose the belts to the bloodline, right? Yeah, and it's kind of like they can't really get anything going. And that's kind of sad because I feel like these are two of the best performers, not just in WWE, but in wrestling, period. Ciampa and Gargano are next level performers, but they're missing that hook. They have the meat, but they don't have the sizzle. They're missing that sizzle. They're missing that story. They're missing those characters. They need that something, right? And so when they started doing this thing where Ciampa is acting more heelish to Gargano's babyface, I was sitting here going, I mean, okay, that's something, and it's good for Ciampa, but we've seen this before. We've seen it before in NXT, and maybe the people who watch just WWE haven't seen it, but for me, I've seen it before, so I didn't really have much connection to it. You hear me? I'm not saying that it wasn't ever going to work, but for me, it was like, man, we need a little bit more than what we're getting. It's going somewhere, and I'm interested, but we need something else. And we got that tonight. A full-on heel turn. Gargano saying, screw it. Screw it. And here we are, man. We are definitely going in new territory with DIY. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Steven Sandridge, the wrestling historian from, of course, A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. He is not a side character. He ain't no third wheel. Steven, do you have your own channel, my man? Steven says, this may sound controversial to some, but I kind of wish Triple H would bring Jim Cornette or someone like him to exclusively look over the tag team division. It could use some work. You don't think he's doing well with it? I think the tag team division, at least as of lately, has been showing some signs of life. But yeah, you could find him on Marked by Wrestling. It's going to be launching soon. Oh, okay, dude. Well, you let me know because you might want to go ahead and get in on this market. You know, we could use a little bit more, some wrestling history, and also get to know We Are Pro Wrestling, who's also a wrestling historian. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, because you say, and I read your comment here, that the tag team division was better under Vince. I mean, come on now. Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, and that's just picking that off the top of my head. You also had like hundreds of other tag teams that came in under Vince. Let's be a little fair here. A lot of those teams were already established before they went to WWE, WWF. They had all that stuff going into it. A lot of these teams here, they're either rebuilding themselves because they were bastardized under Vince, or they're fresh. They're new. You get what I'm saying? So I am going to give them some leeway, benefit of the doubt, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I do understand where you're coming from, and I think you are somewhat right. I do believe that the division, it is lacking. It is lacking. You know, it just kind of feels like right now, especially on SmackDown, there are maybe 3 tag teams that matter: DIY, Street Profits, and of course the Motor Machine Guns. Well, no, that's not true, because you got the Bloodline as well. Although the Bloodline's tied up with Roman, so that's not going to work. You know, it kind of reminds me of AEW. You know, AEW has the talent and they have the teams, they just don't feature them. So I know what you're talking about, and I understand where you're coming from, and I know what you mean. Trust me, I know what you mean. But this is a step in the right direction. I feel like when it comes to DIY, they needed this heel turn desperately, because they were lacking big time. So we're going to go ahead and move things along here. I do want to review the rest of the show. I see a super chat by Mr. Sam Peeboon, who says, who do you want SmackDown to trade for Raw? Oh, who do I want to see be traded from SmackDown to Raw, and then vice versa? That's a good question. Because they did talk about this being a transfer, transfer season or a transfer period where some trades are going to be made. Let me break this down to you. When they say transfers and trades being made, they're saying, hey, our shows are going 3 hours and we need more people on these rosters. That's what they're saying. If SmackDown's going 3 hours and if Raw is going 3 hours, you're gonna have to pack this up a little bit. They're gonna have to fill up these rosters with some NXT talent, if you know what I mean. So I'm expecting a ton of call-ups and also some new faces and some returning faces. But who do I want to see go from SmackDown to Raw and Raw to SmackDown? That is a good question. I don't have anybody in mind at this moment. But I tell you what, I'm going to turn the question back on you guys. Who would you like to see go from Raw to SmackDown or SmackDown to Raw? And let me frame it this way. Who do you think needs to trade rosters? Who do you think needs to go from one to the other as a way to revamp themselves, to feel fresh again? Right? Very curious to know where you guys sit on that one. But thank you, sir, for that lovely super chat. I see we have 100 people in here. Isn't that interesting? See, when I do WWE stuff, people show up. When I do AEW stuff, it's like, where happened to the steam? I get it. Who likes AEW, right? That lame show. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get right to it. So as always, thank you so much for watching me. If this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, you're at it. Help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership, click that join button, and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or a review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks if you would like to donate after the fact. You can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at just Alex Central. Give me a follow on Instagram, give me a follow on Spotify, give me a follow on Cameo, give me a follow on Threads, follow us on Discord, and give me a follow on TikTok, for I am the tickiest of the talkers. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo, and yes, super chats are officially on you. can donate at any point in time during the broadcast. To get your thoughts played live on the air, email me at justalexsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries just to say hi. And yes, please get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Are you a Just Alex guy? To get you an I am a Just Alex guy t-shirt, hot off the press. Also get you an old school Deluxe Man t-shirt, get you a new school Alex's World t-shirt, and many, many more t-shirt designs coming your way. So stay tuned for right here, today, here, in existence, at this moment, in this second, right here in Alex's World. Go ahead and get you some merchandise. Yes, I did see the ratings for AEW Dynamite. They were abysmal. So was last week's. People don't care. But that's what happens when you suck at storytelling. I might make another AEW video. It's been a minute since I've done like an overall thoughts video on AEW. It won't be positive. So really quickly, let me do another sound check to be sure I sound okay. I sound wonderful. I'm trying not to mess with this desktop here because I wanted to do its thing and finish rendering the video. It's currently an hour and 30. So by the time it's done, yeah, I might be able to squeeze it in at 11:30 p.m. Nah, that's too late. I'm going to just upload it tomorrow. Y'all can catch it tomorrow. Just catch it tomorrow. Catch it tomorrow. I might upload a short. We'll see. We'll figure it out. All right, let's get right to it. I'm not going to have a lot to say about a majority of SmackDown tonight. It really wasn't a bad episode because it did advance some storylines. And I thought, for the most part, every match except for that triple threat match was good. But it didn't leave me like, oh my God, blown away like Raw did. Raw this week. See what I mean? Sometimes we like to think that SmackDown or Raw is going to have this long streak while the other show doesn't. But it's weird. It's for the last 2 months, I thought SmackDown was killing it and Raw was just kind of cold since it went to 2 hours. And then this week, Raw just said, screw it, took off the gloves and had one of the best episodes all year. Maybe in years. And SmackDown this week was an episode. Not saying we won't have a better episode next week. It just felt like an episode. Like they opened the show with Cody, Mr. Rhodes, your WWE champion. And he's immediately interrupted by, I'm proud to be an American and a big Chad Gable fan. Thank you. Chad Gable, he doesn't even do that anymore. Does he still do shush? He does neither of those, right? All right, well, Chad Gable came out with his crew, American made, and essentially said, he's here because he's talking to Nick Aldis for that transfer seasonal thing. And then continuing the storyline going on between Cody and Kevin, we got Chad over here saying, Kevin's right. Kevin is right. He was wronged by Roman and you betrayed him. You betrayed your best friend. Cody, believing in himself, once again, standing on ground and believing like, hey, I did what I thought was right, refutes that by reminding Chad Gable that he was once Shorty G. Thanks for that. I completely forgot about Shorty G until you reminded me that, holy crap, Vince treated this guy like dog shit. Chad Gable has been treated like absolute dog shit, y'all. Horrible. But he got through it somehow, some way. Not to mention Cody Rhodes with Stardust, so they both went through it under Vince. But very similar paths, all-American athletes, amateur wrestling, of course. But then, Gable is a loser. He can't take responsibility for himself, reminding them of their storyline. And I like that Chad Gable brought up Otis. So I do think there is a long-term plan between Chad and Otis for WrestleMania. Sweet. That's going to be a great match to see. I cannot wait for Otis versus Chad Gable. That's going to be such a fun match. Such a fun match to have. Anyways, Chad Gable ends up threatening to whip Cody's ass, but he had a suit on. But then Cody said, oh, okay. Well, I guess we can handle this later on tonight in the main event. There you go. That's your main event. Chad Gable versus Cody, Minnesota. Chad is from Minnesota, so I guess it worked. You know, before I even get into the match, when it was announced, there was a side of me that was like, y'all can't keep having Chad Gable lose. This man is in here having some of the best performances inside the ring and having one of the funnest segments and most engaging segments and characters on your television, and you're just going to keep having him lose? There's got to be a reason to that, right? Right? I hope it turns around soon. I'm begging them to have it turn around soon. Praying, hoping, and praying that it turns around. So, we already know how that ended up. We'll talk about the main event in a second, but I'm sick and tired of Chad Gable losing. I really am. The guy is way too good to not have at least some kind of a hot streak going. Am I alone in saying that? Am I weird for saying that? I hope not. I don't think I'm weird. I think I'm being fair. So Bianca's backstage hunting down who attacked Jade Cargill. So that storyline's still going on, and it will go on for a while. I did see news from Fightful Select, who, this is what they said. They said they haven't heard whether or not Jade Cargill is actually hurt, but they did say, they did hear that she's on the injury list internally, to which I go, well, that doesn't necessarily mean she's hurt. That could just be for storyline purposes. But she's not going to be on TV for a while. That's what we know. Bianca's backstage. She ends up meeting up with Chelsea Green, and Piper Niven. Piper Niven punched her in the stomach that was wrapped up with some of that tape, and then that led to a match later on. We saw Jesse the Body Ventura, Governor Ventura. And then we got that triple threat fiasco. Elektra Lopez, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton. This was something. It wasn't good, but it was something. Look, Elektra Lopez is one of those talents that, I'm going to be honest with you, you see her perform and you go, should have kept her on NXT. She's a looker. She looks amazing. If she's just a manager, a body that we can look at, great, but it feels like they want to push her as an in-ring performer. B-Fab has shown improvements. Elektra Lopez has not. So we got all these women on NXT right now who are tearing it up, who are 10 times better than Elektra Lopez. I think, and my personal opinion, if she doesn't improve, send her ass back down there. Because this wasn't it. This match wasn't good. Was it the worst triple threat match I've seen? Listen, we're not going to get there. But, hey, it wasn't a good performance from anybody. Not the best match. Tiffany Stratton ends up winning. Surprise, surprise. I was thinking Naomi would win, but she lost. So, wonder where that one's going. So Tiffany Stratton, who's also Mrs. Money in the Bank, is now in that United States Championship tournament. There's going to be 2 more matches next week. It's going to be Bayley. Who is it? Is it Bayley and Tiffany Stratton? I think they announced it, right? I think it was Bayley. No, it's Bayley and Chelsea Green, and then Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. Okay, so we'll definitely, no, not Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiffany Stratton and Mia Yim and Tiffany Stratton. So we'll definitely see what happens there. So that's how much I care about this tournament. If it's not Chelsea Green, I don't care. If it's not Chelsea Green, I don't care. It needs to be Chelsea Green. We then go backstage to find out that, if I'm not mistaken, this is when the Motor City Machine Guns got told that Street Profits were not. Yeah, this is when the Street Profits got attacked. And then Nick Aldis was like, who attacked them? Who did it? And then they ran to the Motor City Machine Guns, and then Johnny Gargano shows up and goes, we'll take their match. And yeah, and that's how we got DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns. Interesting. Everybody's getting attacked backstage. Why is everybody getting attacked backstage for? It's happening too much. First Jade, and then who was it that attacked? Who got attacked on Monday? Jey Uso. Jey Uso got attacked, and now freaking Street Profits. I feel like we're doing this storyline too much. It feels kind of repetitive. I'm just saying. Bianca Belair versus Piper Niven. So the first half of this match was dull. It was a snooze fest. It was putting me to sleep. Then they started to pick it up. And then Piper Niven started pulling out Saito suplexes. And then the Piper bomb, or is it the Niven bomb? Because I'm thinking Viper bomb. That's what she had in ICW, Viper bomb. So it's either Piper bomb or Niven bomb. Or is it the Piper driver? I don't remember what they called it, but listen here. She started pulling out moves she used to use in the indie circuit, and it reminded me, oh yeah, Piper is actually really freaking good inside the ring. Listen, we always talk about certain talent that need to be pushed. Piper Niven is a babyface star waiting to happen. I get she's a big woman. I get that people want her to be intimidating, but Triple H has to know that if Piper turns babyface, she is going to blow up. Piper as a babyface, I would have her look. I can see a babyface Piper winning the Rumble, going to WrestleMania, getting Women's Championship, and then a title run. I'm serious. A heel Piper Niven isn't all that interesting, but a babyface Piper Niven, hell yeah. Give me that. That's someone that has to turn babyface. Maybe she will. We'll have to see. She ends up losing to Bianca Belair, and that ending was spectacular. I love the ending where we had to watch poor old Chelsea Green get Piper Niven slammed to her with a KOD, and that shit looked like it hurt like a mud. I'm serious. I've watched wrestling long enough to know when certain spots are hit and they hurt. Like in that triple threat match when Tiffany Stratton hit Naomi with a drop kick. I said, oh, that one was stiff. Yeah, when Bianca dropped Piper Niven on top of Chelsea Green, that shit looked like it hurt. And it probably did. But Bianca ends up pinning Piper Niven after hitting a very impressive KOD. That shit's... Anytime she picks up a big woman and does it with ease, I'm just surprised. Because not only does she have to pick them up, but then she has to carry them, and then she has to lift again and put them down. Bianca is strong. Not strong, but strong. So they go backstage, and then we see Bianca and Naomi chatting it up. They're talking about, we're going to find out who attacked. Who was there? Who attacked? Jade Cargill. We're on the case. It's one of those two. It's either Bianca Belair or Naomi. I think it's got to be Bianca because, listen, again, Naomi, I have to wonder, like, what would be her motive? Because I'm still trying to come up with the motive. Bianca had every right to do it. And some of you are going to ask, well, Bianca was in a match while it was happening. And so I tell you, so she attacked her before the match. And now she's pretending that she wasn't involved. Now that does give a plot point or a plot hole. Why did she give up that U.S. Championship title match? And my answer would be because she wants to be a women's champion. She doesn't want to be secondary. She wants to be the top. That one's an easy fix. That's an easy plot hole fix. Speaking of plot holes, Shinsuke Nakamura, for the record, Nakamura's entrance, spectacular. His presentation as this Sith Lord Dark Samurai, I like it. It's new. Haven't seen it before, but I like it. He doesn't get a chance to talk though because LA Knight interrupts him, challenges him to a U.S. title match, and then Andrade comes out and challenges him as well to a U.S. title match. And then all three of them get their asses handed to them by the new bloodline. Yep. So the new bloodline's still a thing. They lost two guys. They lost Bronson Reed, and then they also lost, was it Tonga Loa, who apparently suffered a tricep injury. Jesus Christ. So now it's just Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu. There you go. It's just those three now. Solo, Jacob, and Tama. I'm ready for this to be over with. I kind of just want Roman to beat him for that Ula Pala, and so he can go on to fight The Rock. Dag nabbit. By the way, I saw those reports. I'm seeing a lot of reports going around about The Rock not showing up at WrestleMania. Does anybody honestly believe that The Rock is not going to show up in Las Vegas for WrestleMania when he's the boss? He's the boss. And these reports are so confusing. Even Fightful Select's report is so all over the place because they're saying, well, right now there aren't any plans for The Rock, but that could change anytime soon because The Rock is the boss and whatever he says they have to do. What? So here's what I'm hearing. There is a plan. You just don't know about it because they're keeping it under wraps. That's it. You don't think Triple H and The Rock or other people are aware that these dirt sheets are constantly selling their plans? Triple H hates the dirt sheets. Hates dirt sheets. He hates Dave Meltzer. And it's clear as day that he also doesn't like Fightful Select and or PW Insider because he hates people spoiling his stories. He likes things to be a surprise. So there's no way in hell they moved WrestleMania to Las Vegas for The Rock to not be there. And his schedule is clear. So I'm pretty sure The Rock will be involved. Now, who he faces, that's another question. I hope it's Roman, but it's looking like more and more it's going to probably be Cody Rhodes, which we'll figure that one out as time goes by. Now, moving on with the rest of the show here. I believe this is when Kevin Owens is interviewed by Michael Cole. So Kevin Owens did a pre-recording on his phone, and I love his promos being done by phone now, right? And so Michael Cole had to leave his desk to go out and interview Kevin Owens. And this was amazing because the thing about Michael Cole is people forget that this man, he got good promo skills. He is able to really dig deep into the characters. And that's one of the reasons why when he was doing that heel run, and oh crap, what was it? 2010 to about, well, it was supposed to go until WrestleMania 27, but it kept going because people hate him and hated him for a long time. But when he was on commentary, he overshadowed the show. He overshadowed everybody because he was putting himself over. He got himself over as a heel. He was really good at it. Too good at it. That was the problem. But he overshadowed the show. So Cole knows how to really make a segment work. He's very good at being a TV character. So when he was in this car, this rental car with Kevin Owens, Kevin tells him that he doesn't trust him. He already knows that the interview is going to be biased because he's Cody Rhodes' biggest fanboy. But Cole counters that he's actually been supporting Kevin throughout his entire career. Owens makes the case about Rhodes betraying him, teaming with Roman Reigns, and then points out that Cody is accusing him of only caring about climbing the ladder when he himself left WWE because he was unhappy with his spot on the card. Michael Cole tries to convince him by pointing out all the others who agree with Cody and says he'll get to a Sami Zayn eventually. Now, this is the part where he's like, think about everyone else that did what Cody did. Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and his best friend, Sami. And then Kevin said, oh, don't worry. We'll cross that path when we get to it. And I said, well, Sami's dead. Cole tells him to look into the mirror. And when he said that, I was like, hey, Cole, do you want to die? Do you want to die, sir? Because it looked like he was asking for a death wish when I said, well, he will run you over. He will throw you up the car. He will throw you out of the car through the window and run you over. He didn't, but I was waiting for it. When Cole said that, I was like, bruh, you sound like you want to die. But anyways, what ended up happening, of course, was that Kevin Owens got triggered, got very upset, and kicked Michael Cole out of the car. And then this was hilarious. When Cole got out of the car, Kevin rolled the window down and then yelled at Cole, hey, Cole. Cole looks back into the car and he just rolls the window back up. That was funny. I thought that was a funny moment. And then he just drove off. Never to be seen again. We totally see him again. We already knew we was going to see him again at the end of the show. We already knew. But yeah, I thought that promo was good. I thought that was a nice little way to advance Kevin's character. But when it was happening, I was thinking back to what year was that? Was it 2001? 2001 when Austin turned heel? Yeah. Follow me here. I know we hate it, but Vince turned Austin heel after WrestleMania 17. We know. But when he first turned heel, he was interviewed by Jim Ross. And I remember when Austin, after Jim Ross asked him a certain question, he snapped at Jim. And Jim Ross said, okay, you know what? Interview over. And then Austin went ape shit on Jim. And then you had Vince McMahon come out and go, that's your best friend. You're taking it easy on your best friend. Open him up. Open him up. Get him. Yeah. You know, in his Vince McMahon voice. And Austin literally busted Jim Ross wide open. And it was wild. I know. Yeah. Austin's heel run was crazy. People, I know that we look back on it and go, it was a bad idea. But on paper, if we're being honest with ourselves, it was wild. It was a wild heel turn. And so anytime I think about people talking to Kevin Owens, I think about Austin from 2001. That's not a good comparison at all. God damn, that's a horrible comparison. But you know what I mean? Like, that guy was unhinged. So Cole got out by the skin of his teeth. DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns, or DIY versus MCMG. Tag Team Championships, we know what happened. For the most part, it was Ciampa's match. He basically didn't want to tag in Gargano. Ciampa was like, I got it. Let me do it. And then they did the whole ruse towards the end when Ciampa got in Gargano's face and Gargano said, you know what? Screw you. Pushed him down. And then he said, DIY is over. It's over. And you're thinking, all right, so I guess this is where MCMG ends up beating up Johnny Gargano. And then we got the low blow. Gargano hits, who did he hit? Was it Chris Sabin? He hit Chris Sabin with the low blow. It was crazy. And then he super kicked Alex Shelley. And the crowd was shocked. They were like, what? Right? Dun 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 dun. Home Improvement. Yeah, it was it shocked me too. It was quite the swerve. Dun dun dun. Garments. Whose house? Yeah, it was a great finish. For real. I did not see this coming, but I'm glad it happened. DIY are now your tag team champions for a second time. Two-time. And it's a new direction, new territory. New territory for Gargano and Ciampa. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? The microphone went out. Got a little worried there. I think we're okay. Just create a new microphone. All right, let me do a sound check because I'm scared that the microphone. Okay, people say they hear me. Jesus Christ. Why did you go out on me, you SOB? All right, regardless. We good. A&B Convos is in the house. Once again, show your love to A&B Convos Wrestling Edition, the premier reaction channel here in the wrestling YouTube space. But yeah, DIY. I swear, this better go somewhere. Because I love it, but it's all about the follow-up. This is new territory, and I like it because you know Gargano and Ciampa are very picky about how they're being used, right? They don't want to just do the same things over and over and over and over and over again. They want to do something different. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited. It's new territory. Both DIY, both members of DIY, Gargano and Ciampa, have never been heel at the same time before. So let's see what they do. It could actually go somewhere. Main event was Cody Rhodes versus Chad Gable. And the match was good. Again, I'm sick of seeing Chad Gable lose. I am. I'm sick of seeing this man get his ass handed to him. He's one of the best acts in the entire company. He deserves better. That's just my opinion. But Cody Rhodes does indeed end up beating him. And then afterwards, Kevin attacked Cody. So it's a ho-hum ending. It was fine. They're going to have a match next Saturday, which will be live. I will be here live to review it. But I don't know. I just, like I said, like DIY turning heel was new. That was fresh, like that. Don't know what this means about the Street Profits because I could have swore the Street Profits were the ones turning heel. Are they still turning heel? Jesus Christ! It just feels like so. New Day turns heel. DIY turns heel. Is the Street Profits going to turn heel too? How many tag teams are they going to turn heel? Man, I don't know. But that ending was fine. They just had a brawl, and overall, show was fine. It was fine, like decent, solid. If I was to give it a grade, B minus. B minus. Yeah. B minus. Let's go with that. B minus it is then. I don't know what else to give it, but that's what I'm gonna give it. B minus. So, all right, y'all. So give me your grades. Give me your scores. Say hello to A&B Combos. Let me know how y'all feeling about this show. Also, let me see how well the stream is doing. So, yeah, it looks like Vertical Lives just work better for WWE content. Anytime I do AEW content with Vertical Lives, no one watches it. So, yeah, I'm just going to probably do more Vertical Lives when it comes to WWE. Sounds good? Cool. So, what grades are we giving it? Gamma is cool. Gave it a 9 out of 10. Wow, Gamma really liked the show. A&B Combos gives it a B. Okay, B. Yeah, B is fair. What is that? 8 out of 10? 8 out of 10. Dylan Danger, 8 out of 10. Joe Arredondo, 8 out of 10. Yeah, people thought the show was good. All right. It was solid. So for me, solid would be like a 7, 7.5. 7.5, 7. I feel like a 7. 7 seems right. 7. Yeah, 7. B minus overall. It's not bad. They're saying they're building to Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn for WrestleMania. I don't hate that. I'm cool with that too. Let me see here. Yeah, the show wasn't bad in all. A&B Combos. I agree. John Bill II, where was your AEW Dynamite review? Do y'all want to tell them? Okay, look, the reason why I didn't do an AEW Dynamite review was because I was filming, and I was trying to use these last 2 days to get this video up. Now, the video, again, what's the rendering looking like? 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to see what the video is looking like. It's a oh man. I thought it was going to be done after the stream. It's looking like we're going to have to post this new video tomorrow because it's still going to take a little bit longer to render. So, but I've been working on a video, and that's why you didn't see an AEW stream. And apparently, I'm not the only person that didn't watch AEW because it had like 500,000 viewers. Was it like 580,000? One of the lowest ratings. Yeah. I didn't miss anything, apparently. And apparently the show sucked so much that nobody else cared, so I think we're okay. A&B combos. What's an AEW? Some all empty wrestling. Arena empty wrestling, apparently. Ciampa the second gives the show a 7 out of 10. James Wolfe gives it an 8 out of 10. Chris Williams gives it a 7 out of 10. Big Fred USMC gave it a 7 out of 10. All right, so 7, 8 is the range. So like C plus, B minus, B is where we're sitting at. I see that. I see you. All right. Well, I do appreciate y'all for being here. Before I go, it has been a minute since I've done a live stream with A&B Combos. And I was thinking, and I was going to ask them this in private, but I'll ask them this now. What's your New Year's schedule looking like? Because I'm thinking sometime in January we should team up again, perhaps for Royal Rumble. Would you guys like to see A&B Combos get back together to do a Royal Rumble preview and predictions? And if you're up for that, if you want to see A&B Combos and Just Alyx, the Mega Powers combined, brother. If you want to see it, let me hear you say, yeet. No. You know what? Better yet, give me a hell yeah. Because it has been a minute since me and A&B Combos have gotten together. We'll have to pick a day. Of course, we'll have to work it out. I'll work it out behind the scenes. But the people have spoken. They want to see it. And A&B Combos said, oh my brother, testify. We'll have to make it work. We'll have to make that work. Okay, well then, we'll make it happen. 2025, A&B Combos and Just Alyx get back together for the Royal Rumble. It will definitely be a fun thing to do. So, we will get back to you guys about that. That's going to be fun. All right, guys, let me get out of here before this microphone cuts off on me. Thank you all so much for joining me for this live stream. Thank you all so much for, coming in short notice for this vertical live. As always, be sure you guys show love to the moderators, the mod squad, all my members in the His House. I see right hand Cam here. Let me be sure I don't miss anybody else. Is it just right hand Cam? All the YouTube members who showed up, thank you so much. A&B Combos, as always, thank you all so much for making me a part of your day. As always, to all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. You will see me again Monday night for Monday Night Raw. If I'm feeling good, I might do a review of AEW next week, but we'll see how I'm feeling about that. We got more videos coming towards the end of the year. We're starting up top 10 matches of the year, top 10 wrestlers of the year, top 10 anything and everything. Top 10 shows of the year, especially. That one's definitely coming up. So look for that. And yeah, as always, thank you all so much. And I'll catch you guys next time right here in Alyx's world. A place that was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I love you all. You guys take it easy. I'm out. Peace. When you're in my world.